Hi everyone, today we're making a traditional Egyptian bread pudding known as Ali. Ali is a sweet, warm and milky dessert with a gorgeous mix of textures. It's a wonderful, warm dessert to serve when the weather is cooler, and it's also very popular during the fasting month of Ramadan. Start off by preheating your oven to 200 degrees Celsius. We have a 500-gram block of puff pastry sheet here, which we're going to roll out on a lightly floured, clean workspace into a large rectangular sheet as thinly as possible without tearing. You can skip this step if you have purchased pre-rolled, ready-to-use pastry sheets. So once you've rolled out the pastry sheet, using a pastry cutter, cut into uniform long strips and then into smaller squares or rectangular shapes, and then once again into triangular shapes like this. Place these on a large baking tray lined with baking paper. Make sure to leave a small space between the pieces. Here we've prepared an egg wash, which is just one egg that's been lightly beaten, and with this we're going to brush the pastry pieces lightly. You can omit this step if you want an egg-free dessert. We have enough pastry to make 2 trays like this, so we're going to bake in batches. Bake for 15 minutes until golden and puffed. Once baked, set aside these golden baked puffs till they're cooled, and meanwhile you can bake the next batch. We can also prepare our hot milk mixture. At this time, add 500 ml of full cream milk to a saucepan and bring to a boil. Add sugar to taste. I like to add 2 or 3 tablespoons first. You can add more later. Different people like different levels of sweetness in their desserts. As the milk simmers, regulate the heat, and you want to simmer for about 5 minutes. Be careful that it doesn't boil over till the milk mixture thickens a bit. So once the milk has thickened, we're going to add 200 ml of Kara coconut cream. This is what's going to give a lovely coconut flavor to our Ali dessert. Add in the coconut cream, stir briskly, and bring it back to a simmer. You can also add 4 teaspoons of vanilla essence or extract to taste. In traditional Egyptian bread pudding, spices like ground cardamom or cinnamon are often used, but here we're keeping it simple with the vanilla extract. Set aside this milk mixture once it's warmed up again. So now both trays of our puff pastry have been baked and cooled. At this time, you want to reduce the oven temperature to 180 degrees Celsius. Add 1 layer of the baked and cooled puff pastry sheets. That's the first batch that was baked. To a 3-liter deep oven baking dish. You can tear some of the pieces to make small shreds as you add them. Next, we have an assortment of nuts and dried fruit. We're going to add 1/3 a cup each of pistachio kernels and cashew nuts and grind them. Leave a little bit of texture while grinding. We don't want it too finely ground, and sprinkle all over the puff pastry sheet layer. Add the golden and dark raisins, and then add the second layer of puff pastry sheets. Again, we're going to tear up a few of those sheets to give it a different texture and allow the milk to be absorbed more. And over this, we're going to pour in that hot milk mixture that we had prepared. Once you've added the milk, you want to rest this for 5 minutes to allow some of that milk to be absorbed. And while we're waiting, we can prepare the whipped topping. For the whipped topping, we have another 200 ml of Kara coconut cream, but this has been chilled in the fridge for up to 2 days, so it's nice and cold and stiff. We also have 190 to 200 grams of mascarpone, or if you can't find mascarpone, you can use soft cream cheese, the type that you use in cheesecake. Add the Kara coconut cream as well as the mascarpone to your mixer bowl and begin to beat. Add powdered sugar or icing sugar to taste. You can add 2 to 3 tablespoons first, it really depends on taste. If you've added less sugar to your milk mixture that we made earlier, you can add more to the whipped topping here. We also added a little bit of vanilla extract to taste. Give it a taste test, and if you need more powdered sugar or more vanilla extract, you can add some and just whip it lightly till it keeps soft peaks. Now we're going to add dollops of this whipped topping over the puff pastry sheets. You don't want to cover the pastry sheets entirely because you do want to keep a little bit of those crispy bits, and this cream layer will spread a little bit as it bakes. So we're going to bake for another 15 minutes at the reduced temperature, and at this time we're going to chop up some nuts. 2 tablespoons each of pistachio, cashew nuts, and almonds this time. We've just chopped it roughly by hand, and halfway through baking we're gonna pop this in the oven so that the nuts get a chance to get nice and toasty while that whipped topping continues to spread and gets heated through, creating a delicious and creamy layer over that crisped and soaked layer of puff pastry, which is laying in the milk on the bottom. And continue to bake under the broiler so that it gets golden on top, or if you have a kitchen blowtorch, you can torch the top after sprinkling a little bit of sugar on top. That's optional. And then sprinkle with those nuts that we just chopped, as well as some more of those raisins. Your Egyptian bread pudding is ready to be served. Serve immediately. Ali is best served while you still have that milky layer on the bottom and is still hot. If you set it out for a while and the milk has been completely absorbed, you can make a little bit extra of that milk mixture to pour over the sides of your dessert. Hope you enjoyed this video recipe for Egyptian bread pudding or Ali. I'm leaving the recipe ingredients here for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.